This is 100 watts and a wire.
Another question coming in. How come mobile antenna coax is so thin?
Just for easier to route it through the cable, plus routing the cable between the antenna and the radio. But most of the time, you're going to have a mount that's going to be like on the roof of your car or your truck, and they're not really designed for larger coax cable like RG8. It's designed for pretty small cable, and typically that's going to be an RG58. But then if you really want that really small stuff, that RG174, that really thin stuff, and I've been seeing some of those, but it just makes it easier to go through, so if it's a mag mount, you can go through your door seals and window, but I'm not a real big fan of that because it's super lossy compared to 58, but you're only dealing with 15, 17 feet of cable, so losses is not a big issue. But pretty much it's just practicality why the cable is smaller than your standard RG8.
I heard a couple guys on the radio talking recently, and it was on 2 meters in the afternoon, surprisingly, and they were talking about an antenna for a mobile that had some sort of magnet type deal that you could put part on the glass of either the back of your, the glass on the car, and then the inside has some sort of magnet that pulls these two together, and they somehow connect electrically through the glass.
That's like those old cell phone window mounts, and they pass energy through a capacitive coupling. Pretty much the same way a mag mount does. That's how a mag mount works. It's you don't have a direct metal to metal contact with the base of the mag mount with your antenna. What's happening is there's an electrical field that develops between the mag mount and the car. It forms a capacitor, and the glass mounts work under the same principle.
And they were liking it. The one guy was telling me, "You got to try this. You got to try it."
There was only one drawback: is if you got tint in your window, then because there's a metal component in the tinting in the glass. So, but yeah, no, that was a big common thing. Instead of using magnets, it was an adhesive that the window mounted antennas, and they've made them for 2 meters and 440, and cellular was what really became big with the glass mount antennas. But Scotty is 100% true. It's just basically the glass is your and the plates that are on the antenna part, and then the RF coupler inside the car. The glass is just a dielectric, and it just becomes a capacitor, and then they factor that in the design of the antenna, and off you go.
To join the 100 Watts and a Wire community, visit 100wattsandawire.com.